announcements in recruiting and the importance of the force, the birthing of megaships as well as cruise ships and at the harbor, the launching of St. Martin's Sea Rescue Foundation. I don't know if you remember how that started, but Mike Stamp's son and some other individuals along Bobby Velasquez started the Sea Rescue here in St. Martin. The launching of the Coast Guard vessel Puma, some of the earliest interviews of the St. Martin Regatta before it became the Heineken Regatta. Interviews with St. Martin captains such as Vance James Jr. when he used to sail between St. Kitts and St. Martin and Savour, Coast Ritchie, Fons and Julian Connor, Sir Leo Chance, French captains, carnival parades and committees involved in arrangement and security and securing this cultural activity and its continuity, etc., etc. I never thought I would have to answer to not one, but two prosecutor generals, that of Guadeloupe, investigating the riot of 1986, and the Netherlands Antilles investigating the port scandals, using my films and interviews to investigate the both cases. Candid interviews with Dr. Petit, Major Ailey Fleming, Mayor Albert Fleming, Mr. Louis Constant Jr. Fleming, several French politicians, both local as from France, the Netherlands, and other Caribbean states. Some of the oldest interviews with Dr. Watty, of which one of the most important to me was when he mentioned independence in an Island Council meeting. Clem LaBega, Julian Connor, Vance James Jr., Edgar Lynch, Millicent DeWeaver, Marcel Gums, Michel DeHere, William Marlin, Sarah Westcott Williams, Rupert Maynard, Raymond Nicholson, Dennis Pantoflet, as well as many aspiring politicians, young and old. Mr. T. Priest, I remember, Mr. Speaker, I don't know if you remember him. Mr. Teklo Bell from Colby, Mr. Van Buren James from Colby, Mr. Charles Vlon, Elias Richardson, Melford Hazel, Mr. Swazif on the French side, several governors of the Windward Islands, Mr. Wycliffe Smith in Savour, Mr. Joyce Lakewood in Station, Mr. Gittins, Mr. Van Delden, Mr. Ralph Richardson, Mr. Dennis Richardson, interviewing or meeting world-renowned personalities such as Mother Teresa, Ben Vereen, Lucas Jr., Harry Belafonte, Omar Sharif, Sinbad. These are good memories. Diana Ross and many others. Federal government and officials, politicians, unofficial or leisure trips to document the dedication of the Labrador Square. Excuse me. Sorry. And raising of the St. Martin flag and the coat of arms, as well as that in Savour. The only known film interview with Father Kemps, the author and composer of the national anthem, the St. Martin song. Also, the historical perspective and controversy of the St. Martin Port's development, a 6-part series documentary, several Island Council meetings, among others, a vote of non-confidence against Sam Hazel and Julian Connor. The list is so lengthy that I can stay here for the next few hours telling you of my experience and interviews. I started to work with the Government Information Service after resigning from the Meteorological Services at the Juliana Airport in 1986 by request of none other than Dr. Watty. After he saw the professional and informative programs of profiles of the mainland islands, then it is then that government rented my broadcast equipment to film the events and interviews. The first professional programs were aired. Before that, there was a GIS program, but filmed with consumer equipment. Another such achievement came in 2006 when I visited Statia and saw that there was no GIS. I selected it and was hired as a consultant to assist the Statia's government in developing their GIS in terms of purchasing and implementation of their channel and local programs. Statia then, in 2006, saw their first professional GIS program and on their own channel as well. Before me, there was a guy in the station, a gentleman, Mr. Rivers, who filmed and produced some GIS programs. I don't boast of being the first in anything, even though I can prove many firsts in local and regional television programs. I've also been able and privileged to train, interview, and or introduce some of the many local radio and TV program hosts today, such as Beverly Hyman, Lloyd Richardson, Howell Gibbs, Fabian Medici with his Culture Time, among many others. Also trained and assisted many cameramen and editors, interviewed and worked along with Ian Valls. I'm sure you remember him, God rest him, and many of his works, and ultimately Pan Man, for which I made the film, The Making of Pan Man. I have worked abroad with TV Noord in Holland and Groningen, and ZTV in UK in Middlesex, though only briefly. So how did this all come about? In short, I began by filming local baseball matches with Babel, who's over there, and tennis matches between the ABC Islands and St. Martin, and that became a success, but only after I got support from Spitzer and Foreman, Caribbean Lumber Trading, the Windward Islands Bank, and GEB, of which GEB has stable profiles of the Windward Islands from the very inception of the program. That's 32 years. Thank you, GBE, for over 3 decades of support and dedication to the Windward Islands and the world, as profile can now be seen on Dwight Barran.